Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Garrett, and I hope y'all are all having a wonderful day today. Now, this right here is a 2023 Volkswagen GolfR with the 20th anniversary edition package on it. But not only is this any GolfR, this is my GolfR. I recently just traded in my 2020 Mustang GT Premium for this car right here. And when I told a couple of people that this is what I was doing, a lot of people had some questions as to, one, why would you do that? Well, I'm about to break down the story as to why I ended up going with this car for my next car for us, and we'll take a look. Now, to make this make sense, I'm gonna get into a little bit of the reason as to why I wanted / needed a new car. Previously, I was working in the car industry selling cars for Toyota. Well, then a really good friend of mine reached out to me and offered me just about my dream position to go and be a full-time videographer at his video production company, and I took the offer. And that left me with a choice that I was probably gonna end up needing a new vehicle. Because like I said, I came from a 2020 Mustang GT Premium. Well, not the most spacious, nor the most fuel efficient. And I knew that I was gonna be driving a lot more and carrying around a lot more equipment, so I needed something that would be able to facilitate that. Now that left me with 3 options, at least ones that I wanted, which was the Civic Typar, the Toyota GR Corolla, and the Volkswagen GolfR. And I ended up going with the GolfR because it was able to check off every single box of mine, and I'll get into that a little bit later throughout the video. And that was really the big reason as to why I got rid of the Mustang. I loved that car. I had a ton of fun in that car. But I just realized that it was time to go to something different. And actually, to quote Doug DeMuro, whenever I was watching his review of this car, he stated, "This is the great car whenever it comes time to get rid of your Mustang GT."
You're growing up from your sports car, your Mustang.
And well, I guess I took his advice, and I don't regret it in the absolute slightest. Now, for those who don't know this car, this is the Volkswagen GolfR here. Just some quick specs about this thing. This thing makes 315 horsepower out of its turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, 2-liter by the way. This one with the 6-speed manual produces 280 pound-feet of torque. Now, that's pretty good numbers, and this car feels fantastic to drive and almost completely eliminated all turbo lag in this car. Now, this is powered by the 4th generation EA888 engine, which is very, very well-known engine in Volkswagen's lineup, and they use it across multiple other cars, and it's just been a tried and true engine. That was a big thing, whereas the Toyota GR Corolla, the engine has just come out, the 3-cylinder, the 1.6 liter, which makes 300 horsepower. Don't get me wrong, an amazing car, and I used to drive them around a lot, especially when I worked at Toyota. Amazing, amazing car. But I know I've heard a couple of stories about a couple of them catching fire, and I know that was a big reason why a lot of people were like, you know, might want to take a step back and consider my other options. Now, the GR Corolla was an amazing, amazing option. It checked just about every box of mine, but I just didn't end up going with it. And this GolfR was it really was the one for me. And it really was the same story with the Civic Typar. Again, an amazing car and a ton of fun to drive. Every time I have the opportunity to drive a Typar, I always take it because they are so much fun to drive. But there was one thing that I was kind of looking for that the Civic Typar does not offer, and that was the all-wheel drive drivetrain. Unfortunately, they are front-wheel drive. Not to bag on front-wheel drive cars, I've owned a couple of them in my day, always a ton of fun. But I was just looking for something that was gonna be all-wheel drive, and well, this one offered it, and the Civic Typar did it. Now, with the Civic Typar being out of the question, only being the front-wheel drive variant, that really left me with 2 choices, the GolfR and the GR Corolla. Now, the only reason why I didn't go with the GR Corolla is because of the technology and daily drivability of this car behind me. Now, the GR Corolla and the GolfR are very, very comparable cars. Make about the same power. They're right in that same price point. They're both all-wheel drive, both offered with a 6-speed manual transmission. But it was just the daily drivability of this car that sold me on it. Now, I wanted to take a step into the interior of the GolfR really quickly, just to kind of give you a look around it. This car is just so nice inside. It is a really nice and comfortable place to be. These seats right here, heated and ventilated. Now I will say the ventilated seats was a big selling point to me, especially here in Texas. It's really hot during the summer times, and having those ventilated seats is a lifesaver. That's one thing that is not offered on the GR Corolla, unfortunately. Now it does have heated seats and a heated steering wheel like this one does, just not the ventilated portion, which, I mean, for a lot of people isn't a deal breaker, but to me, it was something that was important to me. Wouldn't have been a deal breaker had this car not had it. Now, this one, I don't know if you can see it on camera, this one was optioned with the 6-speed manual transmission, just the way I wanted it. I've always been a manual purist, always loved driving a car with 3 pedals in it, and this car's driving experience is amazing, I must say. And it, like I said, it's just a really nice place to be in here with the driver or the dynamic chassis control for the suspension. It just feels so great, the way that you can change it around to have it soft, stiff, whenever you want it. It's just amazing. And I really do think that the drivability of being able to change this car from just being a normal Volkswagen to being quite a little monster is very impressive for this car. Now, one thing that the GolfR offered over all of the competition was one thing, and that's the looks of this car. Now, of course, looks are subjective, but one thing that I wanted to touch on is how subtle this car is. For any other normal person going down the road and seeing this on the road, they just group it in with any other Volkswagen ever. But it's the people who know that this is a pretty special car here. And it is an amazing driving experience. I've taken this thing through some back roads, hoping soon to get it on track, as well as taking it to a couple of autocross events and stuff like that. This car's handling is just superb. It feels so perfect going around corners, and I am all over this car. Now, I know that there's some people who say that Volkswagen didn't change it enough from the previous generation, but I think they changed it just the perfect amount. I think it's just a simple recipe for a great looking car, but a very, very fun one at that. Well, that was just a quick summary and overview as to why I chose this GolfR over the competition, which were my 3 that I was choosing between the GolfR, the GR Corolla, and the Civic Typar. Now, to solidify my point, what do you say we hop in? We take it for a little spin. All right, 2023 Volkswagen GolfR. Let's take this thing for a little bit of a spin. Nice push button start, keyless entry. So one of the things that this car came equipped with whenever I purchased it was this Black Forest Industries shift knob, which actually feels really, really nice in the hand. I test drove one of the brand new ones. Didn't mind the feel of the shift knob, but I think this feels significantly better. But yeah, let's take this thing for a spin. We'll go ahead. So there's multiple different modes here. You have a comfort mode, you have a sport mode, which the car automatically defaults to whenever you turn the thing on, and then you click race mode. Well, you have normal race mode, and then you have 2 other features, which is really cool. It has a drift mode, which in this GolfR, it is a front bias front wheel drive. So unfortunately, it can't send more than 50% of power to the rear, but of that 50%, it'll send it to 1 wheel, and that's enough to make the thing go sideways, which is pretty cool. And then there's the Nürburgring, or they call it special mode, but you can see it says Nürburgring, and even right here on the dashboard, it has the Nürburgring logo, which to me is just the coolest thing ever. And then over here, you're also going to have your custom mode, which you can go in and change multiple different things: the driver or the dynamic chassis control, the steering, drivetrain, engine sound. You can even change the adaptive cruise control and the light assist, which was really, really funny to me. There's sport and race mode for the ACC and the light assist, which I thought was really, really funny. But for the sake of today, we're going to go ahead and just throw it in race mode and kind of play around with it. We'll go ahead and put the windows down. This exhaust does give it some nice little pops even from the factory, which is pretty cool. They're nothing, you know, overlandish or outbearish or anything too loud, but I mean, just a nice couple of little burbles here and there on hard downshifts and stuff like that, which I think feels really, really, and sounds really, really cool. Actually, you know what? We're going to go back this way. Let's see if we can get a couple pops. There we go, that was a pretty loud one. And for the sake of wind noise, we'll go ahead and put the windows back up. Now, one thing that the 20th anniversary edition doesn't come with is a sunroof, actually. Volkswagen deleted that from the factory on the 20th anniversary edition cars, which to me made absolutely no difference, because in the multiple past cars that I've had the sunroof, I never use it. So it, to me, would have just been a waste of space and weight, which also having that weight up here, and I guess not having it, lowers the center of gravity with it, which makes it handle a tad bit better. Which I don't know if you'd really notice a difference between having a sunroof and not having a sunroof, but, well, that's just my prerogative on it. The 6-speed manual transmission feels really, really good in the car. The gears feel really notchy. You can really tell what gear you're in, as well as it gives you the display up here, which, speaking of the display, there's multiple different views that you can have. You can really change this thing around. I like how it has like the actual navigation there, where it shows you the map, which I thought was a really, really cool feature on this car. Go ahead and turn over here. Yeah, so we'll cycle through some of the modes. So then there's the full map display. There's a driver assist one, which is pretty cool. And this one is the one that I mostly keep the car on, because I like the center tachometer, and I like how you can change both the things on the side. So we can change it between boost, torque distribution, performance, operating temperatures, assist systems, everything like that. Super, super cool features that it's all customizable. Very, very nice touch, Volkswagen. I love it. Now, would it even be a review or video of the new Mark 8 Volkswagen Golf if we didn't talk about the infotainment? That is where every single automotive journalist has really hit this car low, is by saying that this system is terrible. People say it's very laggy, it's hard to get used to, and it's just not great overall for the driver. I 100% disagree with that. I think it's a very intuitive system. I think it's quite nice. Now, yes, there are a couple of things that, yeah, there could have been a better design flaw, or, you know, some better design features. You know, like having some actual hard climate buttons would be nice, but, I mean, not a necessity. Now, one thing that I know a lot of people talk about was the traction control off. You go over here to the vehicle, you go to brakes, and that's where you find it. Weird, huh? Well, the thing that they don't show you is that you can customizably map that to this right here, where you have 4 different buttons that you can change whenever you want, which is nice. So I have the lighting, the traction control system, the sound, and then the one that takes me right home, which is nice. I mean, just nice little features about that. Those are the things that they don't talk about in the other reviews of this car. Now, one thing that I do love, speaking of about the ambient lighting, I do love the ambient lighting in this car. I'll go ahead and put a video up now of what this thing looks like when it gets dark out, because I think it looks really, really cool, and it's fully customizable as well. You can change all the colors back and forth. Looks really, really awesome. I absolutely am a huge, huge fan of the ambient lighting. I think it looks super, super cool in this car, and the fact that it's fully customizable, we'll stop right here really quickly. But yeah, you can change it between so many different colors. I think it's just really, really cool, and just looks really cool when it changes throughout the gauge cluster. Everything changes when you move it. I just think it looks so, so cool. We'll give it a little pull here. And by no means of the word is this car a slouch when it comes to acceleration. This thing gets it. I mean, is it as fast as my previous Mustang? No, it's not. But it's not the same car at all. And that's not what this car's purpose was for. Even though it'll go quite fast in a straight line, this thing handles it extremely, extremely well. Way better than the Mustang did. And the turn-in is so sharp and direct. I mean, this car, there's no dead zone in the steering wheel. No play at all, which is one thing that I really, really love to see on this car. All right, guys, well, there it is. The 2023 Volkswagen GolfR with the 20th anniversary edition. Let me know down in the comments section below what your choice would have been if you were in my position. Do you think I made the right choice? Or anything that you'd like to see me do with this car? Any mod recommendations? Anything that y'all think I should do to this car? Leave it down below. And be sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you get notified every time I make some new content with this. Really excited and looking forward to taking this thing out and doing some more high performance driving with this thing, such as track days, autocross days, all kinds of stuff like that. So that being said, I just want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and y'all have a great rest of your day. Take care.